So recently, there's been a lot of talk about iRacing creating a career mode and how it's almost ready to be shipped to iRacing customers. And it's going to be utilizing the AI, and it's going to be a very fun single player experience. But I kind of wanted to make a video on what I personally expect career mode to be like because I don't think it's going to be something grand. I personally think it's going to be a much more humble career mode to where it is essentially AI seasons, um, but railroaded so that it makes a believable career mode experience. So I think how it's going to be on launch, there's going to be three modes. There's going to be sports car, formula, and then just an oval way. And here's what I and we'll use the oval one as an example. So like you'll start in let's say you'll start in mini stocks. So what it will do is that you start off in mini stocks. So there'll probably be like a screen that says choose where you want to start. And then let's say it gives you money. So let's say S10K start. So you start off with 10K, and that will allow you to get a little bit of funding. And I think that there will be car upgrades, but they'll be very basic. Like you won't notice a difference. The only thing that they will do is make the AI weaker to give the illusion that your car is getting faster. So I think that at the start, the AI will be pretty strong. And then as you update your car more, it will change the AI level for the race down a little bit. So let's say at the start you are at 100% AI difficulty. And then I think once you get an upgrade, let's get a better color for that. And then once you get an upgrade, it might bring it down to, let's say, 95. That's probably a little bit too much of a gap, but the uh, the idea is there. I think it will bring the overall skill level, and let's just write skill. It'll bring the skill level down from 100 to 95 to simulate, or not to simulate it, but to give the illusion that your car is getting faster compared to your opponents. And I think at the start there will be a slider to determine how much you want your starting AI difficulty to be. And I think that's how an upgrade system will play out. And of course, you gain money by finishing well in races. And I think incidents are probably going to be a big factor in if you have to repair the car at all. I don't know if that will be implemented. I have a feeling it's going to be a lot like NASCAR 25, where I think the car state will just go down. But I think that so as the car state goes down, the AI incrementally goes up, not by like 5% like with this when you upgrade, but I think it'll go up by like 1 or 2% for how long it will, for how poor your car is in terms of quality. And of course, you can pay to uh, get some car quality back. But I think in terms of progression, there will probably be like a fans system. So let's say you start off with 0 fans, and then like maybe at like 1,000 fans or something, you get promoted to let's just say street stocks. let's just say you get promoted or you have the ability to race street stocks once you get 1,000 fans, and they'll probably, and I think that they'll uh, I think that they will have it be to where uh, you can choose to keep racing in the lower series if you want to. It'll either be like a fans or a reputation system, one of the two. I think it'll be pretty heavily borrowed from NASCAR 25, but I don't think it will be as bare bones as NASCAR 25 was. But you'll get money from finishing well in races and not banging up the car, and you'll get fans or reputation uh, by just completing races. And the better you do, the more fans you get. But I think that in terms of depth, I think this might have a silly season because iRacing has the ability to randomly generate car rosters on a whim with names, numbers, and paint schemes. I don't think it's too far out of iRacing's scope to remove a couple drivers per season and replace them with a randomly generated driver with new attributes. Now, it's very possible that iRacing doesn't do this. I am not a fortune teller, but that's how I think they'll implement a silly season um, system. But I also think that uh, there's I think that when it first launches, there's not going to be a lot of switching between like disciplines. So I think that like you start off in oval, and you're going to be going from mini stocks to street stocks, and then ARCA trucks Xfinity Cup. I don't know if I mean maybe if they want to, they'll put you in like a late model, like a super late model, since those have AI support. But I don't think that at least on launch you're going to be going from ARCA or trucks straight to IndyCar. I think that you'd have to choose like an IndyCar starting path first for you to go there. But I think that these iRacing templates are going to be a pretty big inspiration to what you can get promoted to. But I don't think that there's going to be like things like one-offs and oh, you got invited to do let's say the quote unquote spa 24 hours and it's like a 45-minute long spa race with a randomly generated AI field. I don't think that would happen, but I think that when this comes out, YouTubers who will cover iRacing career mode will probably introduce that, similar to how like Chris Move in his NBA 2K videos used GTA to say that he got like a house. I think um I think that that'll probably happen. They'll be like in the middle of let's say an Xfinity um series, and they'll get an offer to run a touring car race, and it's just a single AI race. Uh, but if that is a feature in crew mode, that'd be awesome. But I don't see it happening. Maybe not on release. But I think that there's going to be very strict railroads to the top. So I think maybe for road, like sports car road, you'll start off in MX5s, then go to GR86, then GT4 and GT3, and then you can do IMSA. But uh, I think that it's not. There's a lot of people saying that it's going to be like its own separate game, and no, I don't think it's going to be like that. I think it's what ostensibly going to be a menu mode. So it's gonna be like menus for AI seasons with um with maybe a storyline and then like a money management side. Because before career mode was even announced for iRacing, there were people making their own career modes using Google Sheets and Microsoft Excel. It's definitely possible, and since a lot of career mode games are essentially simple math and spreadsheet games, Like let's be real, like an NCAA dynasty game, or let's say ESET Hockey Manager, those like manager games where you're making a career out of something, or you can even say something like Road to Glory, is a spreadsheet, simple math management game with a coat of paint on it. And I think that's essentially what the iRacing career mode is going to be. It's going to be like the NASCAR 25 one, but kind of more stripped down. Because I don't think you're going to be having cutscenes with Dale Jr. or anything. I think it's just going to be like, uh, you start off here. Here's your money. Here's your reputation. Go on and work towards the next level. And I don't think it's going to be as bad as something like SRX the game, where you have to win the championship to progress to the next tier. But something that I thought might be included for a career mode is sponsorships. So here's how I think that sponsorships would work with career mode. So let's say that we're using the BMW M2, and since iRacing has the rights to use all of these sponsors, I don't see why not that you have, let's say ANSYS. See, ANSYS gives you a sponsorship, and it that is worth 10K, and then you have to finish, let's say, or 10K, say, per race, and and you have to finish, let's say, out of let's say eighth or better, so eighth plus, um, to meet your requirements and get the bonus. So you have to finish eighth or above in any given race to get the 10K. And then I think since there's also room for secondary sponsorships, you'll have secondary sponsorships, kind of like the secondary and associate and team sponsors in NASCAR Thunder 2004. So let's say Hoisingfeld wants to be a secondary sponsor, and and their contribution is, let's say, 3K a race, and let's say that for them to stay on, you have to have an average incidence of, let's say, under 4. So you will get 3K per race if your incidents are below 4. I think since career mode is also probably going to be used as like a tool for like training like new people on iRacing, I don't think it'll be used explicitly as that, but definitely be helpful. Um, there'll probably be like incentives to racing cleanly, so you're not like booting people out of the way like in some NASCAR Thunder challenges, to where like you can completely like game the race by just wrecking everyone, or like how you would get a bunch of money in NASCAR 25 by causing cautions to get to the front of the Daytona 500. That's how I did it in Xfinity for NASCAR 25. That's a whole different story. But that's how I think that sponsorships are going to be included. Um, I'm like I said, I'm not a fortune teller. This is just how I think it's going to work. But I think that would be an easy layup for iRacing to do. And the thing is that a career mode for iRacing is not going to be a massive grand endeavor that is going to distract from other parts of iRacing. iRacing already has 90% of the parts necessary for a career mode. They have the sponsorships, they have the AI roster generation, they have the ability to create seasons, they have the tracks and cars and everything to facilitate a smooth, seamless career mode. All they need to do is just get a group of people to make a believable story or system to work within the constraints of iRacing to make a believable career mode with the AI opponents. And I think it's more than possible, even with on ovals, the AI kind of being a little lackluster. I think that, you could probably improve the experience a lot with like a third party app um, for AI that like throws cautions or gives black flags to AI drivers for like mechanical issues and stuff on oval. But for like, I think this will be a great career mode on road. I think if they flesh out dirt oval more to where it's more than just street stocks and legends cars, I think you can have a really good dirt oval career mode as well. So I'm really looking forward to career mode, but I'm not having my sights set on anything super lofty. So in short, there's going to be a starting screen where you choose your discipline and you're going to be railroaded to those disciplines. I don't think you'll be able to really branch off into other disciplines, at least at the start. There's going to be a sponsorship system using iRacing sponsors, and it's going to utilize randomized AI attributes, drivers, and paint schemes to possibly facilitate a silly season. Those are the things that I think are going to come with career mode. What I don't think it's going to be is I don't think iRacing is going to make a standalone single player game and sell it just for single player offline use because they want to drive people towards playing online because that'd just be kind of silly to have a one time purchase of what's essentially iRacing Lite. And I think that would just kind of strangle any future growth, especially with all the talk about iRacing racecraft, which I don't want to get into because it's a never-ending topic. But the people will see the popular YouTubers making videos on how apparently terrible the racecraft is on iRacing's online, and then they'll just only buy, let's say, the career mode for $60 and never do online. So I don't think it'd be in iRacing's interest to make a single player offline game. I think it would still require I think it would still have to require an iRacing subscription to use the career mode. I also don't think there's going to be anything like rivalries or a deep storyline or staff management. I'd be surprised if staff management comes in, but I think you'd be just taking care of the car yourself through very basic upgrades. But I don't think that really could be implemented in a believable way because, like, for example, NASCAR Thunder and like the EA NASCAR games, you could have rivalries, but all they would do is just make the AIs run into you on any contact. Um, so it'd be interesting to see if they do implement a rival ally system, but I don't think it will happen. I think they're gonna mostly run off of NASCAR 25. And I don't think we'll be having anything, crazy like cutscenes or like conversations with uh, AI team members. No, I don't think that's gonna happen. I think it's gonna be very basic and essentially just AI seasons with a coat of paint over it to make it look like a career mode. Either way, I'm looking forward to it. I know this is a lot different than what I normally do, but I'm kind of excited for this, as you can probably tell. So I'm looking forward to seeing what you guys think about iRacing's upcoming career mode, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the next race. Y'all take it easy.